Hello, 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 Facebook. Hello, Kingdom Citizen. How are you guys doing today? How are you doing this Tuesday evening? I am so glad to be with you today. And I'm excited. I'm excited. We have a nice topic today to talk about. By the way, if you're coming on the live now, say hi, say hello. Let me know you guys are here. If you're catching the replay, put hashtag replay. Please share this live so that someone else is able to watch it. So the topic that we are discussing today is can prayer and fasting change the plan of God, right? And so, what do you think? Let me know in the chat. Let me know what do you think before I even go into it. Can prayer and fasting change God's plan? So that's what we're gonna be talking about today. Yeah, say hi, say hello. Let me know that you are here. If you're catching the replay, put hashtag replay. If we haven't met yet, just in case we haven't met yet, I'm Enock Denis, and I help Christians reclaim their kingdom identity so that they may live a life of abundance, power, to occupy the world till the Lord comes. And of course, I am the author of this book, Prayer and Fasting, Seeking God's Will for His Kingdom. I realize the camera is the other way. So, Prayer and Fasting, Seeking God's Will for His Kingdom. That will be coming out soon. It's not an ebook. It's actually a book, paper book that you will have in your hand. You can read it. You can flip the pages. You can you can bend the pages. You can take notes. You can highlight and all of that. It's actually a paper book. So to answer that question, right? Can prayer and fasting change God's plan? We have to first understand what is God's plan, right? What is God's plan? When people are saying God's plan for this, God's plan for that, we have to define what is God's plan, right? And then from that point on, we can realize, how does that work out, right? If I have a plan to do something, I may change it, right? I may change it. And if you have a plan to do something, things happen in life that make you change your plans, and then we move forward to something else. How about God? Does prayer and fasting change God's plan? Yes, I'm in Texas right now. I'm actually in Texas right now. So let's define what God's plan is. And to do that, we are going to let's go to the books of Genesis 1:26 to 28. It doesn't matter what we do, how we turn things around. This is exactly where we're going to find God's plan, okay? God created the earth and everything that He has, the stars, the moon, the sun, and everything that the earth needs to be around it, even the other planets, they are there for earth, okay? So when He was done creating all of this, then God created human being. Maybe I'm a little too close to the camera. So, and then God created human beings. Okay, God created human beings. He created Adam. He created Eve. And then He told them His plan, right? He told them His plan for them and for the earth, right? What was God's plan for Adam and Eve and for the earth? It was He wanted the earth to be developed, to be multiplied, to be taken care of, to have great things being done on this earth. He created Adam and Eve so that they can do that work for Him. They can serve Him, do that work of developing the earth, of multiplying things in the earth, right? And then He told them exactly that. That was the plan of God. Genesis 1:26. Before He created human being, He said, "Let us make man in our image and likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the air, of the birds of the air, the fish of the sea, over every animal and creeping things on the earth." Right? And then in 26, that was a brief summary of the creation of man, of Adam and Eve. And then in Genesis 1:28, God called Adam and Eve unto him, and then he gave them his plan, right? God gave Adam and Eve his plan. He told them, he said, God blessed them, right? He gave them his blessing, and he told them, here's why I created you, what you're here for, right? He told them his plan, right? He said, God blessed them and told them, and don't have my, oh, hold on, let me grab my Bible. I want to have the exact wording. So, just want to have the exact wording. Sometimes I may paraphrase it, but I also like to have the exact wording. Genesis 1:28. Genesis 1 chapter verse 28, and he says, God blessed them, right? God blessed Adam and Eve and said, be fruitful and increase in number, fill the earth and subdue it, rule over the fish of the sea and the birds of the air, and over every living creature that moves on the ground. Right? So God gave them his plan. His plan that also includes the plan for man, the purpose for man. That is to rule over the earth, to have control over it, to develop it, to multiply it, right? To fill it, multiply it, to do great work on this earth. So that's what God created Adam and Eve for. So we have to understand the very basic of God's plan sits in that verse. Okay? God's plan and God's purpose for the earth. God's plan for the earth. God's plan for human being. God's purpose for human being actually is encapsulated in that verse. Genesis 1:28. Actually 26 to 28. It's encapsulated in that verse. Genesis 1:28. If you read Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, you realize that Jesus has a lot of parables that actually bring us back to that exact verse. A lot of the things that Jesus was talking about, they bring us.
Look, I'm naked.
Hi.
Baby, I'm naked.
Yeah, you say hi. So that was my son saying hi, everybody. So Jesus brings us back to that verse all the time. He brings us back to that verse. He talks about the master who has a field and hired people to work in the field. He went away, he came back, and then he asked him for accounts. The one who the master who gave different talents to his servants to work. One hid the talent. Two, the other one had two and multiplied. The other one had five and multiplied. All those different parables, they're actually telling us one thing and one thing only. God's plan in the beginning, he gave us charge over the earth, over the things that he created, for us to work them, to multiply them, and he's gonna ask us for account for the work he gave us. Okay? So that's all the parables that Jesus was talking about. They are actually, he's trying to explain to us that God's plan, our purpose, God's plan for this earth, God's purpose for this earth, which is exactly the same thing. God created this planet. He created human being. He gave us a purpose. He gave us a work to do for him. Genesis 1:28. He gave us the work to do, and the work is to be fruitful, multiply this earth, multiply things, create great things, and then he's gonna come back and get an account from us for the things he gave us charge of. So that's the plan of God. Now, here's the thing. So I was trying to explain the plan of God in a very brief, in just a few minutes, right? I can take an entire day explaining this, but to make it very simple that's what the plan of God is. Whether it's the plan of God for the earth or the plan of God for human being, that's what it is. Now, prayer and fasting, what does prayer and fasting do? Prayer and fasting is simply going back to the maker, to the creator who gave you the work to do, and ask Him for clarity, and ask Him for insights, and ask Him for understanding. That's what prayer and fasting actually does for us. God gave us a work to do. He created us for a purpose. When we pray and fast, we go back to God and ask for insights, ask for understanding, ask for knowledge, ask for understanding and wisdom so that we can do what He created us to do, what He wants us to do. Right? And as we live this life on this planet, as we live, we may also go to Him and ask Him for insights, understanding on the way we are living, on the things that's going on in our lives. Guess what? So that we may do the work He created us to do. So we may work His plan. Right? Let's say I go and pray and fast for my marriage. Right? Yes, I'm praying and fasting for my marriage so that I can have a better marriage. God can give me and my wife insights. God can give us knowledge and understanding on how to better our marriage, on what do we need to do for a better marriage, right? Why? What is the end goal of that? Right? So that's the question. What is the end goal of having a better marriage? The end goal of having a better marriage is that we may actually be in a better position to do the work, the purpose God created us for. Right? Of having dominion over this earth, developing this earth, multiplying this earth, and taking charge and manage this place for Him. Right? If we go and pray and fast for our health, it goes back to the same thing. We are looking for insights, for understanding from God, for knowledge from God, to take better care of our health. Why? So that we may do that exact work He created us to do for Him. Right? So it all goes back to the plan of God in Genesis 1:28. In essence, to answer the questions is that no. Prayer and fasting does not change the plan of God. It doesn't change the plan of God. The plan of God from Genesis 1:28 is still the same. Jesus came back and explained us that plan in different parables, in so many parables. Jesus trying to explain us the plan of God, what it was, and how do we accomplish it, right? So that we may be fruitful. We may be fruitful. He explained that to us in so many different parables so that we can do the plan of God. The plan of God does not change. It will not change. It's still the exact same plan. Prayer and fasting allows us to get insights from God, understanding from God, knowledge from God, so that we may accomplish His plan and His purpose for our lives. Okay? Prayer and fasting changes us. It does not change God. Not at all. It does not change God. It does not change God's plan. Prayer and fasting does not change God. And by the way, when I say prayer and fasting, grammatically I am correct. It's not prayer and fasting are. It's actually prayer and fasting is, because it's actually one thing. Prayer and fasting is one thing. Okay? Prayer and fasting does not change God and does not change the plan of God. Instead, prayer and fasting changes us so that we may accomplish the plan of God. I want to make sure that we all have that. We are all clear on this, right? We are all clear on this. Prayer and fasting does not change God. It does not change the plan of God. It does not change the mind of God. It simply changes us so that we get insight. Because to change God, meaning that there is something that He doesn't know, you're going to bring Him new information, right? That's how you change anything. To change anything, you bring something new to it, and then you change it, right? You want to change your house, you bring new things into it. You want to change your mind, you bring new knowledge to your mind. We cannot change God because we cannot bring anything new to God. What is that we're going to bring new to God? We cannot bring new knowledge to God. We cannot bring new understanding to God. We cannot bring new wisdom to God. Therefore, we cannot change God. We cannot change the plan of God. But when we go to God in prayer and fasting, it changes us because we get new knowledge from God. We get new information from God. We get new insights from God. We get new understanding from God. We get new wisdom from God in prayer and fasting. Okay? So I wanted to make sure this is very, very clear. By the way, if you have any questions, please put your questions in the chat. Put your questions in the chat for me. If you have any comments, put them in the chat as well. If you can, please share this live, share this with someone else so that they may be able to watch this and have a better understanding of prayer and fasting. So I want you to put in the chat for me. Please go ahead and drop this in the chat for me. Put prayer and fasting changes me. Okay? Prayer and fasting changes me. Put that in the chat for me. Okay? That means prayer and fasting changes you. It changes you. It doesn't change God. It changes. When I go pray and fast, it changes me. Okay? So here's what I want you to do. You probably already got the news about that. If not yet, here's the news. This is the book Prayer and Fasting. And again, I bought this book because one of the things that got ordered that I do is this book. Making sure, because there are so many misconceptions and so little teaching about prayer and fasting. So little biblical teaching about prayer and fasting that it becomes necessary to write this book based on everything about prayer and fasting in the Bible so that people can have it in their hands while they are reading this with their Bible to get the knowledge on prayer and fasting. Here's what I really, really, really want to tell you. This book will be available soon on certain platforms for exactly $19.99. Here's the deal. I want to make a deal with you. I want to give you this book. I want to give you this book not for $19.99. Right? If you want to go and buy it on the platforms when I launch it, you will be able to buy it on several platforms for $19.99. But I want to do something. I want to buy this for $19.99 and give it to you. Literally, I want to buy this book and give it to you. Okay? So this is exactly what I'm doing. I want to give you this book. For me to give it to you, all I want you to do is to let me know, yes, you want it. Let me know, yes, you want it, and go ahead and join the wait list. So the wait list will allow me to know who wants this book for free. Okay, who wants this book for free? And soon enough, about sometimes next week, I will allow you to actually claim it. I want you to reserve it because I will be having a limited quantity of books to give away, right? So that I buy to give away. So I have a limited quantity of that. If you want one, go ahead and reserve one in waitlist.enockdenis.com. Please, somebody put that in the chat for me. Enock Denis, waitlist.enockdenis.com. Joy, if you can put that in the chat for me, put the waitlist link, waitlist.enockdenis.com in the chat so that you can reserve your copy. Reserve your copy, and next week I will send you a link for you to claim your copy. Okay? To claim your copy. When you reserve it, you let me know that, hey, reserve a copy for me. Keep a copy for me, please. So that when you make it available, I will claim it. I will get it, right? So go ahead and reserve your copy so that when it's available sometime next week, I will send you a link where you can claim your copy, and I will give you that copy for free. I will give you that book for free. It's not an ebook that I'm going to give you for free. I'm going to give you an actual physical book for free. Okay? So go ahead and join the wait list. Send that link to other people. Send it to as many people as you want so that they as well can join the wait list. If they're interested, I'll give them a free book as well. Let me know. Who else do you want to give a free book to, right? Give it to them. Just say, hey, you know what? I love you so much. I just want you to reserve that free book from Enock. Okay? Help me give your friend, your family members a free book for prayer and fasting. That will actually change their lives. All right? So do that, and then I will send you the link soon. Yes, it's Enock. It's actually waitlist. Randolph, this is where Randolph. It's waitlist.enockdenis.com. Waitlist.enockdenis.com. So this is what we are going to do, because listen, prayer and fasting is such a powerful part of our life as kingdom people. It's such a powerful part of our lives that we have to know how to do it, how to practice it, right? Because it's where we get information from God. It's how we get connected to God. It's how we get God's plan for our lives. It's how we get God's plan for everything that is going on around us. It's how we stay connected to God. It's through prayer and fasting. Okay? So, I'm asking you to join the wait list, and I'll give you a free copy. Literally, I will give you a copy. You will not be paying $19.99 plus shipping and handling for the copy. You will not be paying the $19.99. Okay? All you have to do is make sure the book gets to you. When I say make sure the book gets to you, meaning that you'll be paying USPS. You'll be paying for the book to get to you. Not for the book itself, but for the shipping of the book. You will cover a small fee for me to ship the book to you. But for the book itself, I'll buy it for you. I'll buy the book for you. All you need to do, you're gonna need to cover the shipping. So, any questions? Any questions? Everybody, just drop them in the chat for me. Let me know if you have any questions or any comment whatsoever. Let me see. All right, I think that is it. So if you still have more questions, more comments, you can put them in the chat. I will address them at a later date. So maybe as a community questions that I do all the time, I will answer some of them for you. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening. May God bless you. May God bless you. May God be with you. May His blessings in all areas of life be upon you. And I'll see you in another video. God bless you. God loves you. And I love you. Bye-bye.